what's going on? If you guys can hear me, please press that too. All right, we are here at the Messy Sweet Spot, and I am your girl, the one, the only, Jessica. Kohinoor, Kohinoor. Yes, honey. How you guys doing? Are you guys doing okay? The gloves are off, and we are here to talk about some hot topics. Now, recently, I did a video with an associate, Don, right? And he was like, "Why don't you talk about your dating life? People want to know about your dating life." And usually, honey, I am very private when it comes to this social media stuff because I see everybody on social media telling their business and needing validation from other people to feel validated and loved, but I don't feel the need. I don't want that validation. So, but I was like, okay, I would try it. I'll start opening it up more. Even though I just feel like my mindset and how I think is so different from majority. So I was like, okay, I don't care. If it's controversial, it's controversial. We can talk about it, whatever. So I did a video on my personal channel, Jessica. Kohinoor. All right. So I put it up there today. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I'm going to rewatch it. Ooh, good thing I got my plugs. Good thing I got my earplugs. And I wanted to talk about it because I posted up in my post with the dailies, and someone says you need to be single, and I just want to say no. If you are a trans person, LGBT, do not allow anybody to make you feel like you need to be single. If you want a relationship, trust me, you can have any guy out here you want to have. I'm a living testimony. I was told I can never find this guy, I would never get this guy. And trust me, I have gotten anything that I wanted and more. Okay? So you can't listen to the nonsense. I did listen to the nonsense, and sometimes I was like, oh my God, I'm so surprised. And the guy's like, why are you acting so shocked? Aren't you used to this? I'm like, okay, yeah. But I wasn't, because I listened to so many other people tell me what was going to happen, how I was going to do it and everything. But they don't know what they're talking about. Hell, they're not even happy with their own relationships or their own selves. So do not listen to them. So with what I said, that I will only marry for lifestyle. And I've had a few relationships. Let me see how many. I would say three to four in my past that offer me lifestyle. And it was amazing. It really was. And people may say, well, okay, well, why aren't you in those relationships then if they offered you this great amount of lifestyle? I would say the reason why, because I was young at that time and I did not want to settle. I didn't want to settle. I wanted to go off in the world. I wanted to venture off, and all those guys that did offer me a lifestyle, they were very serious and they had their eye on me. Sometimes it felt like a prison, and I never wanted for anything when I was with them. I felt protected. I felt loved, validated, seen, whatever. But it just felt like, I couldn't live life without them. It felt like I couldn't be successful without them, because everything that I did when I was with them and I was successful in, they had a major hand in. And I just wanted that freedom to see, damn, can I really do it myself? And then they wanted forever. And when I was young, I didn't want fucking forever. I'm like, no, I want to venture off, and I'm the type of person, it's like, I want to see what else is out there. It's like, I'm too curious, I don't want to just stay here. And make sure, do you guys hear me while I'm just sitting here talking? I don't even know if my mic is on. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Lisa, can you hear me? Lisa, if you guys can hear me, please let me know you guys can hear me. Lisa, can you hear me? Or the audio is off. All right, so I see Lisa in here. Lisa, just let me know if you can hear me, girl. Press 3. Okay, good. And Lisa said that she typed it out. I'm so thankful. And Lisa, if you have any questions or anyone else, feel free, But thank you so much, Lisa. But anyway, going back to, the lifestyle. I didn't want to feel stuck. I wanted to venture off and to see what I really can make of myself by myself. And I wanted to see other people out there because I was always curious about it's better on the other side because I'm young. Shit. But some people at a young age, they want to be in a marriage. When I was in my young 20s, I had several friends from high school. They got married and, they had babies or whatever. It's because that's what they desired. I didn't desire that. I've never really desired marriage. When I was young, marriage was forced on me, when I was like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I mean, god damn, every year. First, it was can't wait till you get married and have some kids. Can't wait till you get married. When you get married, you're going to understand. When you get married, you're going to be so happy and all this stuff. Mind you, I ain't never said I wanted to get married. But people push their, whatever you want to call it, their agenda on you. So when I got up in age, like in my 20s, it's like, so you ain't going to get married? When you going to get married? Bitch, if y'all don't stop asking me that damn question, when I get married, I let you know. It's so annoying. It is so annoying. And I guess you say, well, why won't you just tell them you're not interested in marriage? I don't know, because I felt like I would break people's hearts. Like, oh my God, you're not interested in marriage? And then you got to explain yourself. Why? Why don't you? Bitch, I don't want to explain my shit. If I don't want to get married, I don't want to get married. Period. Hell. And thank God, I'm so free from that I don't have to sit around being badgered by people asking me about marriage. My marriage has nothing to do with you, but how people go about it, it almost feel like it does. Like, I don't know if they're projecting their insecurities or, they're not even happy with their own damn marriage and you worried about me, but I think nowadays, things are more relaxed because I see some of my other siblings is any of my siblings married? I don't think none of my siblings are married, like my brothers and sisters, from my father. I was the only child from my parents, my mother, my stepfather. I'm the only child. So when it comes to other relatives, I'm thinking my cousins. My older cousins are married, but my younger cousin, I have a younger cousin. She got married twice. I don't know. I don't think the younger generation is getting married, but I don't know if they got peer pressured like I got peer pressured or what. But if you're in the comment section, did y'all get peer pressured to marry? Press 1 if you got peer pressure to marry. Or press 2 if you didn't have to worry about that crap, okay? And if you didn't have to worry, you are so lucky and thankful, okay? And let's get these likes up. Let's get the likes up, y'all. So with that being said, moving on about the marriage. That's just how it was. When I was young, I didn't want to. I just felt like I just wanted my freedom. That's all I've ever really wanted was freedom. Freedom to be myself, freedom to do me. Growing up in a conservative household, you don't have freedom at all. Because as everything gets circled around what they want for you. And of course, I had a poker face, so I faked it like, okay, just so I won't rock the boat. But when I got 17, because I moved out at 17, I really didn't visit home much. It was like they would beg me to come home, and I'm like, I'm not going back to that place. I don't want to go there. I'm enjoying my best life, And then when I got to go back home, it's like, okay, I got to fake this shit again. And it's just annoying. because it's no beneficial anymore. When I was in, I guess, in high school or whatever, the benefits was, they favor you, you get money. What do you mean you get money? Shit, I don't know. Okay, so and it's interesting because I just came across a blog post. Did you guys see it? It was this older lady, and she has a daughter. Her daughter is 18 years old. And she was yelling at her daughter for not paying the bills. I guess she was asking her daughter for $50. And I guess on hard times. So therefore she needed her daughter to chip in, and her daughter felt like, you're the mom, why am I chipping in? And it looked like she was going to hit her. I mean, how that mom was talking to her, I was afraid for the daughter. But in my household, compared to that, I've never had to pay for a bill. When I moved out of my house at 17 and I went off to college or whatever, I can always depend on my parents for money if I needed anything. But they never wanted me to work. Even in high school, I wanted to work, but they never really allowed it. When I was in college, I really wanted to work, but they was like, no, you should just focus on your schools. We got you financially. We don't want you to worry about anything but your school. But I didn't want to do that. I end up working anyway. My first job is retail. My parents didn't want me to work, but I did it anyway. I was rebellious. I did what I wanted to do because I wanted independence. I didn't want to continue to depend on my parents when I needed money. I wanted my own shit. I've always wanted my own shit, but my parents are very they shelter me, and they don't want me to have to do much. So when that situation happened, my parents never yelled at me. I've never got yelled at like her. I never got called a B by my parents or you stupid MFer. Now, when I was on the east side and I had relatives watch me, now they do cuss. And I had a grandma, my grandmother, she's something else, rest her soul. But she used to watch me, and she used to cuss a lot. She used to cuss me out, but I've never gotten cussed out by my stepfather or my mother or my father. It was just by my grandma, but my mom had a talk with her. It was like, we don't use that language. You can't use that language with me. And of course, that made my grandma very upset. And then after that, my other aunties and uncles, they got on my grandma too. Like, you cannot use that language to our kids. Like, we're just not going to have it. You did that with us, but they was not going to have it or whatever. But honestly, I didn't mind when my grandmother cussed me out. Honestly, I used to love it. I used to prank my grandmother so she can cuss me out. Because every time she cussed me out, it'd be so fucking funny. But that's where I got my cussing from. But my parents, they were right. You should not be cussing at your child. You shouldn't have to yell at your child to get an understanding, because I've never had that in my household. And we understood. Now, in my household, I wasn't able to really speak back. It was very strict. And I was a good kid. I was rebellious and sneaky, of course, but they never knew until I got up in age and I told them what was going on. But other than that, I guess I played it off really good. So hey Jack, how you doing, Jack? Jack says, me too, Jessica. That's why I don't have any depot. My parents pay everything. Yeah, don't worry either, Jessica. Yeah. So did you see that video of that lady yelling at her? And everybody was like, well, all she asked for $50, To me, seeing that lady yell at her, I would have been left. My parents never yelled at me. I never missed a meal. They always gave me what I wanted as far as clothes and stuff, because I didn't do anything I never did any drugs or went to jail, or they never had any issues with me. Except for, one or two times where I tried to run away. But but yeah, I tried to run away, to let you guys know. I did not want to stay at my house. And you may say, well, why? It seemed like it was so great. Because they were very strict. And I didn't have any freedom. I had to continue to be somebody that I wasn't. I never even gave my parents a chance to accept me as like part of LGBT. I never even gave him a chance. I just already knew in my head, and I'm a person, I'll be thinking the worst. So I'm just going to prepare for the worst, and I'm just going to bank on the worst. I'm not going to test the waters. And I'm just like, I'm out of here. Okay. I'm not about to sit up here as a child and tell my parents, listen, y'all, I'm this, I'm that. Hell no, I don't want to hear nobody mouth. I don't want to hear nobody rejection. So therefore, I decided to move out at 17, live my own life, and say it when I felt like saying it. Okay. And I didn't even, at a time, I felt so comfortable. I was like, fuck it, I ain't saying shit. But I was in a relationship, and this guy, he's a second guy that gave me a lifestyle, you know? And a lifestyle can mean so many different things, but this second guy that gave me a lifestyle, I mean, I was going into different ballrooms. I would never have access to these places if it wasn't for him. I mean, the experience that he gave me, like in the studio, like really helping me elevate, trying to have experience in radio and television. I mean, he got me into a lot of doors, and I have had a few experience, but it wasn't because I earned it. It was because he knew people and he was somebody. And I lived off of his lifestyle, you know, going to places, going to trips. It was all on his lifestyle. My parents did not know at the time. Of course, I wasn't going to tell them because it's none of their business, and I'm grown. I don't live with them, and I'm going to tell them anything. And I was not planning to tell my parents about him, you know. But he wanted to gift me a luxury car, and we went to the car dealership, and I don't know, I think he kind of manipulated me, honestly. But after going to shopping for a luxury car, mind you, I'm young. This is my first time shopping for a luxury car. Like, nobody ever took me shopping for a luxury car. And like, we're talking to the sales guy. He's talking to the sales guy, and he's just like, do you like this? Do you like that? And I'm like, I don't know. I just like it, goddammit. You know, and we ain't going to no mom and pop shop. You know what I'm saying? We're going to the dealership. So those are just different experiences that, I don't know. I don't know if you get that with the average guy. So he was like, before he put the down payment on, he was like, have you told your mom or your father about him? And I'm like, nigga, I was planning to keep your ass on the down low. Listen, I live in a whole different state. They don't need to know nothing I do. Can we leave them there? Like, that's my mindset. I was not planning on saying shit. But he was, I don't know why, but he was just so like intimate. He just wanted me to tell them. And I didn't want to tell them. Child, it took everything. But what really helped, because of the car, a luxury car, he was like, he's not about to buy it for me. If he was like, are you ashamed of me? Look, ain't nobody got time for this, motherfucker, okay? I did not go to the dealership with you, okay? Look, we go trips together. What the fuck you mean am I sharing with you? You know, but he's talking about as far as telling my parents and stuff like that. So anyway, I had to tell them, not because I wanted to. I really didn't want to, honestly. But I did it because I wanted to continue the lifestyle that he provided for me. You know, but it was a great lifestyle, you know. And I ended that lifestyle because several reasons. And I believe it's his fault. When I told my parents, you know, they could not let it go. You know, they kept on talking about, we're praying for you. We're praying for you. Every time I'm on the phone, it's like, you know, we're praying for you. You know, you can change your mind. What the fuck? Listen, I've been like this. They just didn't know it, right? I'm like, all that discernment, y'all can, whatever. But I don't know. It just really got to me. My parents, it just felt like I had to pick between my parents and my man at the time. And I was young. And I don't know, I just had it in the back of my head like I didn't deserve him. Like every guy that I've been with, like that gave me a great lifestyle that I had before, I just felt like I didn't deserve them. Why did I feel that way? I guess it had to do with, people feeling like, LGBT people are not deserving of love. Growing up, you never saw yourself represented in television shows or anything like that. So I don't know. It was like, this gotta be it's too good to be fucking real, So I had that feeling. So yeah, I ended it because he became very smothering, but I could deal with it now that I'm older, I think. But at the end of the day, to be honest with you, I'm not looking for no relationship. That conversation started because they were like, just talk about your dating life. I'm happy with friends right now. But if I was to get into a relationship, it would have to be for lifestyle. And I can say that because I have experience being in relationships that provided me lifestyles. I have talked to guys that provided me lifestyles that I couldn't get on my own. Just going to certain events, just traveling different places, meeting different people, not because of my merits, based off him. Shit. I like that feeling, going on business trip with his people and all the breakfasts included and just going to different Hawaiis and stuff. And I'm his guest. Shit, I feel special. I like that feeling, so it's definitely there. And I guess some people just feel like, it cannot happen. And I'm like, it happened for me. Before and after my transition, that's just what I'm used to and accustomed to, My first time I had my first lifestyle change was the most minimum. I was in high school and I bumped into this guy at the mall. And my goodness, he just changed my whole wardrobe, okay? He changed my whole wardrobe. Now with him, his lifestyle, he didn't introduce me to people, but as far as how I looked at fashion at that time, and at that time I was very materialistic. Like I was the type of person, I wouldn't walk out the house without a designer name. But I was more into streetwear. I didn't know anything about European designs. And a lot of people in my peers, they wasn't really on that. You may hear it in a song with Biggie Smalls watching Dolce & Gabbana and Little Kim and Foxy Brown, Prada and shit. But when you were in high school, rocking Prada and rocking all this designer clothes that cost $3,000-$4,000. I mean, your parents can't even afford that. What the fuck? So he dripped me, like literally dripped me. I would say 2 weeks, every 2 days out the week, I was dripped in designer, head to toe. Couldn't nobody tell me shit in high school. Everybody was just amazed, like, damn, there she go again. Damn. Now, at the time, my parents had no idea because I would go in and I would change my clothes. And then when I leave from school, I would change my clothes. And I was never allowed to take the bus. My parents did not allow me to take the public transportation or the bus ever. I always had my stepfather come pick me up. And I was so kind of bougie in high school. I didn't want to be, I was just telling people that was my chauffeur. Like, I was telling people my stepfather was my chauffeur, and he my stepfather is so cool. He's very strict. At the time when I was a kid, I didn't care for him because he was so strict and he just didn't understand me. It was just like my stepfather, he just want to control you. Like he just want to have like this robot person. And that wasn't me. But he was very nice. He was very considerate. He was overprotective. So he always picked me up, even though he picked me up late. A lot of times I couldn't stand it. But he will always make it up because he will always bring me food. Anytime, like, how can I say it? Lunch. I just call my stepdaddy. My stepdaddy bringing me whatever I want. Pizza, Burger King, McDonald's and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, damn, I wish my parents do that for you, me, whatever. But that was just what I was just used to. Um, so my stepfather picked me up, and I just, changed my clothes and put in my backpack, whatever. They never knew. And you may say, well, how did you get the items? Well, I used to skip school. I skipped school. And when I got to his house, he'd just have so many fits just lined up. And I mean, just going through the closet like, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. I want these boots, you know what I'm saying? So it just felt good. I mean, I felt like this is happening to me. Like, come on. Like, this nigga fuck with me like that. Like, ain't nobody had my story, you know? And it, shit, man, that experience is out this world. It's not just somebody just sending you flowers. I mean, he changed my whole appearance, man. That's a lifestyle, That's lifestyle. I would never have that experience if it wasn't for him, So that's what I mean by lifestyles. Like I will be loyal to lifestyles, but as far as like sex, I cannot be loyal to sex. I mean, I don't value sex like that. Sex is good. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love that shit for real. But I'm not going to stay because it's good. No. Nope. As far as emotions, heart, oh my goodness, I want a guy's heart. No. I mean, I think heart is so many different reasons. One, I mean, the percentages of a guy really giving you his heart is not big. And then second, if a guy does give me his heart, I think he's kind of crazy. I don't know. I just feel like guys that give me their heart and so emotional and so attached, I think they're crazy. And I know I don't want it to. I'm not like I want to be with you forever and ever. To me, that just feel restrictive, and I just feel like I'm in prison. And I don't like that feeling. And I don't like to be smothered. I don't like anybody smothering me or clinging on to me too tightly. It annoys the F out of me. And I just feel like if a guy give me his heart and then I get annoyed or I get bored or I get eventually the honeymoon phase for me will be over. I'm going to hurt his heart, and I'm afraid that he's going to try to retaliate and do something horrible for me because he felt like I played with his emotions and stuff. And that leads me to, like when I was talking to Don, I was telling him, like, I can never be with a guy that will give me his last. Like, guys that give me his last, I just can't do it. I don't know. I just feel like when you take a guy and it's his last, I don't know. I just feel like that's a sacrifice for him. And I don't want a guy to sacrifice for me because, like I said, I don't plan on being with him forever. I just don't. So I don't know. Like I prefer to be with a guy that gives and it's nothing to him and it's not a sacrifice and he just have it to give. And that's just who he is because that's just how his heart is when it's someone that he want to take care of. He's just going to give. He's not going to have any regrets. And there's plenty of guys out there like that. Maybe you guys don't know any. Maybe you're not the guy. But it's guys out there like that. Versus a guy that give you stuff and then when it's over, he's like, I'm going to F you up or you were just using me, huh? So all this time, this was fake all this time. So why you breaking up with me? You know how I feel about you. I never want to be in that situation. I never want to feel like I owe a guy anything. That's so scary to me, So I avoid those individuals that, may not have it. I don't take from them. They try to give it to me. They be like, yeah, I'm short, but here you go. And be like, no, baby. Take that. No, I don't want it. Because I don't want it from him. I don't. I want it from the other guy that really got it. Okay. Let's get the light. Ooh, you guys Act like y'all didn't see that. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Let's get the likes up. All right. What else, you guys? It said that's why I have to no school, nothing. My parents pay that. Hi, Jessica. Look, thank you, Cool Breeze. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much, baby. Thank you, Keita Land. You know, I changed the hair up because before, what hair did I have on earlier today? I had some type of hair on earlier. I can't think of the hair. Do you guys remember what hair I had on in the earlier video? I'm trying to think. Oh, okay. I had on this wig that I just put on. Like, how can I say? Okay, yesterday, right? I had this cat in my backyard, and I don't like. Okay, how can I say it without offending you guys? I'm not. I don't get excited for cats or dogs, and I'm not trying to offend people that love cats or dogs, but I'm not a cat and dog lover. So when I went outside, that cat was just there, and I'm like, move, and I did like this, and it didn't do anything. And I'm like, what is wrong with this cat? Why is it not running away? That freaked me out. And possibly it could be one of my neighbor's cats, right? However, I'm such a bitch. Like, I'm really a bitch. And what I did a Karen. I called the pet society and I said, listen, you guys need to get over here really quick because I have a cat in my backyard and I can't get it out, and I'm allergic to cats. Am I allergic to cats? No, but I don't want that cat back in my backyard, and I don't want it to get comfortable where it's going to continue to bother me. I mean, its existence is bothering me, and I know that sounds horrible. I know that sounds like a bitch, but baby, I have some bitch in me, But I call the guys over, and I'm like, you're not going to charge me, are you? And they're like, no, they're not going to charge me. But eventually, the cat moved off. And I don't know what the cat was doing, but the cat was in my backyard, and I didn't want that cat back in my backyard. And I don't know. So yeah. Oh yeah. So another funny part about it, right? So my doorbell rings, right? So I didn't have a wig on at the time, and I'm like, oh my God, where is my wig? So I'm running around the house looking for my wig, literally. And I was like, I went to this drawer, and this drawer is usually where I keep like turbans and stuff, but none of my turbans was in the drawer. So I had to hurry up and run and put on a wig. And that wig that you see me earlier, the black with the blonde streaks, that's just like my throw on wig that I just throw on. Like, I do have a few wigs I just throw on. I popped that wig on. I ran down the stairs. And then he was like, well, you have to walk me back there. He can't just do it by himself. So I was like, okay. So I walked him back there. And he was like, he doesn't see it. And I was like, man, he was like, it's probably one of your neighbors or whatever. I'm like, you're probably right. But I know you said, well, why didn't you call your neighbor? Because I don't know which neighbor it is. And I don't want my neighbors are very nice, but I'm not trying to be friendly or a family with my neighbors. I want to keep them a distance. I don't want them all in my business, Nope. Not trying to be friendly like that. People get too comfortable, and I don't want anybody to get too comfortable with me. Yeah. Man, oh man. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's enough. Well, let me show you guys too. Let me bring you guys this up here. And did you guys like this live? I know it's very random and it didn't have any celebrities talk on it, but did you guys enjoy this live? If you guys enjoyed this live, please press a 2. All right. Press a 2 if you guys enjoyed this live. All right. All right. So let me put this up here. To show you guys. This is another YouTube channel. You guys know I have several. This is like a personal YouTube channel where I don't do anything but talk about myself, So it's Jessica Kohinoor Official, So if you guys just want to see me talk about myself, then there you go. No celebrity, Nobody. Just me, 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 me. That's it. I'm very selfish. All right. So moving here. This was the last video I did, and it's called Jessica Kohinoor Confessions. I only dated a broke man to look normal. I only marry lifestyle. All right. And that's this one. That's the latest. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. And if you want to browse around that YouTube channel, feel free to do so. So the title was, I talk about the title a little bit, was I dated a broke guy to look normal. So I'll kind of give you an idea the type of guys that I'm used to, and I've been dating these type of guys since I was fresh out my house or in high school. I've always dated guys that could provide me a lifestyle. That's just always, well, honestly, can I be honest? Okay, so the first guy that gave me a lifestyle, I wasn't even looking for it. Like I didn't even have like Versace, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, Balmain, Celine. I didn't even have these. I didn't even know European designers. I had no idea. But when I got with him, he just spoiled me. He just introduced me to a whole different world. He made me see things differently. And I love that experience. I love that experience. It's nothing like it. And I really appreciate that, and I can be loyal to that. I can't be loyal to D. I can't be loyal to emotional attachments, but I can be loyal to that. And I don't know. I think some people just have a negative or they just lack experience, because I can see somebody saying like when they're in high school or, young, 18, 19, somebody can say, oh, a guy is never going to give you a certain lifestyle. You're too young. Girl, please. Okay. I was getting lifestyle treatment when I was 16. Okay. Okay. And this was before my transition. Okay. So cut it out. So, right. People are having experiences and people are living their best life at any age. So do not allow the peanut gallery that have no experience in that, or their world are so different. Like they're like, oh my goodness, that just sounds insane. Like I just can't see that happening. Of course you can't, because it never happened for you, or you just don't live in that world. So of course you can't see it. But for those that do desire to live like that, it's out there and you can have it. I've had it several times. And like I said before, and I told the guy, Don, I was like, listen, I don't want a relationship. Like I'm not looking to date. Because I had one individual hit me up in my DMs and they were like, would you want to be on a dating show? And I'm like, no, thank you. And it's because I have several different guys and they're great picks that I can pick from. I just don't want to be with them. And I'm focused on myself, and I got so many different things that I want to do as far as my own business. I still haven't leveled up there. And I want to do it. And I want to do it by myself. And I know that may sound very selfish to you guys. Like, why do you want to do it yourself? Because the stuff that I have accomplished, I'm so thankful to do it myself. I feel honored to do it for myself. Because if I would have done my success with someone else, I would have felt like it was because of them that's why I'm here. I probably feel like I need to be attached to them for a success. And for me to do it myself, it just makes me feel more confident that I have the willpower. I have the determination. I can be my own cheerleader. When things are going down, things are not looking like I think it should go, I just have to stay determined, and I have to put the foot on the gas and don't let up. And sometimes in my past, when I dated guys or had relationship with lifestyle guys, I never had to work. Like they would just get it from me, They would just get it from me. Almost like, I don't want to say it. Okay, I say it. Okay. I have full ride scholarships to multiple colleges. Okay, I could have went anywhere. I could have went to New York, Chicago, Atlanta, anywhere I wanted to go. I had multiple scholarships, but certain schools I didn't have that scholarship. But I had family that made some calls that knew certain people that got me in, because they had favor. And I love that power of favor. And I love guys that have that power of favor, that power of influence, So I was like, oh my goodness, that's life, I love that. So yeah, I love it. I love it a lot. I love it a lot. But it's something different when you do it yourself. Like when you do it yourself and you own it and it's all you, that is a certain confidence when but even though I've done some stuff for myself, I still be questioning myself. So I think sometimes question if that's in your personality, even if you do shit your own, you may still question some shit because that might be a part of your personality if you haven't worked out that kink. But listen, I could talk a lot. You guys know I'm very talkative. I'm a chatty patty. Okay, I just haven't been able to. Not been able, but I just haven't chatted a lot in the past. But I'm a chatty patty. I like that term. All right, so I'm looking for this screen. I'm trying to look for it. All right. All right. I just subscribed, honey. Thank you, Circle. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I really appreciate that. All right. Well, do you guys have any questions before I exit on out? Let's get the likes up. But do you have any questions for me? Anybody? I'm open ears. I'm open ears. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Kitty Land. Thank you, baby. All right. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to get on out of here. I just want to say thank you all for showing up for me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I really, really do. I love you all. And of course, I do more gossip and more trending topics and true crime. But every now and again, I will just open my page for more personal talks because I definitely need to work on connecting with my audience and grow my audience and connecting to me and not just the gossip, okay? You need to be here for me, okay? The gossip needs to be the bonus, okay? Okay? But I know I have a lot to work to do because that's not what I set up this channel previously, like these past years. It hasn't been like that at all. So it's like I'm changing things and the algorithm, all that shit. Yeah. All right. I love you guys. See you guys. Bye. Bye.